One of the key questions that I face continuously from aspirants for management education is what are the key parameters they should look for while deciding on a management institute. Which sort of institutions they should invest the next 1 or 2 years of their time in. In my experience, I did my management some more than 24 years back. The scenario has changed very dramatically. The number of institutions in our country has multiplied by several factors. However, the number of quality institutions in our country is extremely limited. The first aspect that you should see is the background of the promoters. The background of the promoters have effect on every small aspect of running of the institution. For example, an ideal background of the promoter would be a mix of education plus corporate experience. Finally, we try to develop management graduates for the purpose of employment in the corporate world. So if your institute is promoted by people who have no idea about the corporate world, that is a great risk, because unless people have exposure to the corporate world, they really do not know what the corporate world is looking for in its employees. That is one. Second is, there should be a good, at least some of the promoters should have a very good background in academics. Academics is not something which can be just picked up like that. So look for the presence of some very senior, well-respected academicians among the promoters if possible. If not, at least they should have active participation in the management of the institutions. So another thing is, check out the activity, the feedback of the current students and the alumni of such institutions in social networking platforms. It is very easy today. Find out Facebook or LinkedIn groups of alumni of these institutions. Make friends with alumni as well as current students and understand from them what are the sort of jobs that they are doing, what are the sort of inputs that they receive during their management course. Second is, what is the sort of bit of interaction with the alumni will make it very clear to you what sort of goodwill they carry about their institutions with them. I know a very large number of institutions in our country they are not able to instill a sense of goodwill among its alumni. A small amount of discussion with their alumni and even their current students will give you a right picture of whether they are really happy after doing the program. A happy alumni who speaks good about their institution is a very strong parameter on deciding on an institute. Third is, I would not, for example, give a lot of importance on whether it is an MBA program or a postgraduate diploma in management program. It really doesn't matter. You know, a PGDM program from a very reputed institute is considered much better than the MBA program of a university. The university programs in our country, a large number of them, suffer from the ills of a government-owned system. You know, and one of the major ills is that the programs is not really geared towards the corporate sector. They would not have senior executives from the industry coming and talking to the students. The curriculum would have been fixed some 30 years back, and the newest concepts in business management are never discussed in those classrooms. Moreover, you know, belonging to a larger university often acts as a constraint. So if you see, there are very, very few institutions in our country which rank in the top 10, let us say, which are a part of a university system. They are better appointed. Now, if I were you, I would take with a lot of skepticism the B school rankings. I have seen this ranking process from pretty close. There is a lot of, most of the rankings are not very reliable. If I were you, I would rather go by the direct feedback of the alumni, or if you know people in the hiring companies or the corporates, I would go by that. Third, and another point is, please check the success rate of the alumni in the corporate sector. Check out some of the biggest companies in India and see where their top executives come from. You will invariably find most of the top executives are coming from a handful of institutions. It's not so difficult to know that. So these are some of the parameters that you should consider. How is it coming?